Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. It's Wednesday. It is 6 p.m. Um, what's today? October 21st, 2020. Let's go, 2020 gang, 2020 vision. Yeah. Um, yeah. Um, okay. So, first things first, I just want to say I fucked up my sleep schedule so bad this week. Especially yesterday. I woke up at 1 today and my day basically started around 4. It's so bad. It just feels like I've, kind of like used up already half my day. Um, I did get a run today. I got a run in today. I did miss my 4 hour lab this morning, which was from 8 to 12. Um, but yeah, I definitely, I definitely did not do so well in terms of sleep schedule. Now, mind you, I did want to go to bed early yesterday, but at the same time, things came up. So I even took a little one of this, and I was actually tired. But um, me and the boys were playing. So Chris mentioned a game called Left on Red. It's like basically a game about COVID and like trying to get the girl over text and like it was the backstory was the guy and the girl were good, close, I don't know, friends, I guess, close people, and then COVID hit and they had to go back to quarantine. So the college closed down. They went back home. They're 1,000 miles away, basically. Um, and so the guy, obviously, is into this girl, and he doesn't know how to text very much. So basically, I was playing that. I'll talk more about that later. I gotta finish this whole not sleeping thing. So we'll talk about that later. And like, yeah. So I played that game. It was like 12. All right, I'm about to go to sleep, and then Jaden is like, all right, I'm gonna play. Emily is Away too, which is also the same type of game. It doesn't have COVID, but it's set in 2006. It's also about trying to get a girl over text, and like you get choices. There's different endings. It was fun, and I was gonna I'll watch him do chapter 1, and then you know what? He ended up finishing the game. I was having fun just watching and just like letting it happen and watching it happen. So you know what? I let it happen. I let it happen. I just kind of stayed up until 4. You know, late as hell. But you know, we uh, we fixed up. Not fixed. I don't know. So, but yeah, we he played that, and then it was pretty fun. Izzy and Chris was there. Um, yeah, that was fun. But I did sleep at 4 because the game was surprisingly longer than I thought it would be. So he did finish it. It didn't end too well. He didn't get the girl, and that's it. Um, that was funny. It was a fun night. It was a fun night for me. I'm assuming for Jaden too. But what else here? So yeah, I stayed up and I kind of fucked up my sleep schedule. Hoping to fix it a little bit tonight. I'm not gonna go full ham and try to wake up at 8 or anything. I'm just gonna try to bring it down to maybe at least wake up at 10. I'll have the alarm no matter what time I go to sleep tonight. I will wake up at 10 tomorrow. So yeah. So, um, what else? So with that being said, I just think I kind of fucked up, and I am gonna fix it. You know what? It's fine. It happens. I still went on a run today. I'm still doing things. I did miss class, and kind of slacking on schoolwork, but I'm still getting the task done, and I'm still doing the video log today. Just now, figured I want to do it, and you know what? I'm gonna do it. and I'm gonna stretch too tonight. Put some TV on and like just stretch. But yeah, I mean, I'm. You know what? I may not be the most productive person. I may not be the most um effective, efficient person, but I try to get my shit done, and I I I'd like to think that I do actually put in a lot of effort and a lot of energy into trying to have good days and trying to be the best version I can be. Sure, I'm not the best version I can be at most times, but I do try to be a little bit better than the day before. Some days, you know, I'm a little less productive, but I think in terms of the amount of effort I'm putting in, I'm doing good. And overall, I'm in a it's not gonna be a straight line upwards, but it's gonna be like up and downs. But overall, the trend is going up. Hopefully that should be the same for my stocks too. Let's go. But yeah, that um alone would be yeah, usually. So I wanted to talk about that actually. So I've been thinking since I was playing that game yesterday. It made me think a lot, cause I'm not gonna lie, like half that time when I was playing that game, I was super pissed because dude, the amount of the kind of text or kind of responses he does, and the way he just kind of backs up and deletes things from his whatever he's typing, like it's kind of like it the reason why I'm mad of it is because I'm mad at the mistakes that I've made in the past, or I feel like I'd still make in the future. It's kind of so the guy was texting like he'd be a pussy about it. He'd be a beta. Like he'd want to say something that would kind of move the thing forward. Like obviously he's pursuing the girl, and the guy was like, you know what? I think you're. I don't know. You're. I miss you or something like that, and then he erases it and says something like, "How's the weather?" And it's so dumb because it's so bland. The conversations were so it felt so awkward, and it felt like it wasn't going anywhere. And so the ending of the game was actually like, they go back to college. COVID is done. They go back to college. They grab something to eat, and she's okay. It's good. And that was actually cool game, fun game, but so after you finish the game, there's this realistic mode, which is so fucked by the way. So there's this realistic mode, and you put on the realistic mode, and you get on the first message is hey. You jump on the little hey text box, how are you, and that's it, just like delivered, left on red, and that's the game. And I'm like, oh my god, that's the game. Left on red. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. So anyway, this thing that this I don't know. It does make me think, because a lot of the things that I was getting mad at the main guy for is like shit that I would do, and kind of shit that I would it's just the kind of energy he was putting off, the kind of energy that he was um putting out there was this insecure guy that wanted to pursue this girl, and he tried hard to impress her, and he tried to make things, and he understood that his texting skills or whatever, the conversation and text were so bad that when he asked to call, it was fine. So it seemed like, I don't know, it's like a lot of he came across as insecure, and it made me think, because like sometimes that's how I come across in text, and I think about it in the past, like I guess it's in hindsight, obviously, like looking back at all those things and the kind of energy I was vibing, even when I was in a relationship, even when I was trying to pursue girls, and it's the kind of things that made me really think like it's like, wow, that's how I was. And I put girls in pedestals, and I treated them as this thing that I should impress. And like, when the one thing I could have just done is try to just express myself and treat them as normally as I can, and treat them as a normal person. Sure, tell them how that you're interested in. You got to be direct sometimes, and you got to be, you know, I I've learned a lot from it. I've learned a lot from just the past, and like learn from those tendencies. And I know that um just thinking about it won't fix insecurities. Obviously, insecurities are going to be there. There's going to be things that you got to do to make sure you have less insecurity in life, whether that be working out, meditating, and giving yourself self-love and forgiving yourselves. Like, I don't know. And it made me really think, like, it made me think about the whole situation with my ex-girlfriend, where she just didn't want to talk to me. She basically just want to not have me in her life, and that's okay. And it made, at the time I respected it, but also at the time I was hurt. This was also like a couple months ago, by the way. And I was like, so I was thinking about it a lot, and I kept thinking about it. I kept thinking about it because, and I try to convince myself that, man, I'm the one that got hurt. I'm the one that deserves happiness, or like whatever. It's like I'd come up with all these different things to justify as to why I'm the one that I was the victim. Even though deep down I knew that I kind of was a toxic person, that I was a toxic person, and I couldn't let go of the fact that I was being portrayed, or I was someone out there that I used to care about very much saw me as someone who was toxic and someone who was evil, despite the person saying that it wasn't me. Well, it was me, but it was also the relationship we were in that was toxic. And like, I don't know, I heard that, and I listened to that, and I treated it as an attack on me. I I it it triggered all my insecurities again about how I always needed someone, and I always needed I depended on people. And it's like, I don't know. I think I was hurting, and I was hurting, and I was using my insecurities and using my inability to forgive myself for those things. I do mean it when I say I've changed. I do mean it when I say, even though tendencies do come back, I truly believe, I would love to believe, and I know you know I'd like to believe that I am changed, that I am different. Not completely different, like you know but I've changed. Like, I feel like I'm less insecure. I'm more self-loving. I am less um dependent on people, and I like to say I have a little bit more discipline and things like that. Like, obviously I've improved, and it made me angry because when she was mentioning how toxic the relationship was and how bad it was, even though it wasn't for her to, I guess, be angry with me, or at least I shouldn't look at it that, like, it wasn't to directly hurt me. I looked at it as that. I looked at it as, oh, you're judging my person. You're punishing me today for who I was before, and that made me angry, and it made me hurt, and it made me feel like I don't know. And yeah, I was mad at her. Yeah, I was angry at that situation, but I think deep down I was also angry at myself. I was always angry at myself, at my past self, for making mistakes, and I was always angry at myself. I never wanted to look back, and I never wanted to forgive myself, I guess. And it that thing, that my inability to forgive myself is what holds me back, you know? I it's like I'm running away from my past self so much to the point where I can't even forgive myself because there's this gap, and I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm my past self is here and I'm here. And I'm always trying to run, but it's eventually gonna catch up to me unless I just forgive myself, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but I'm just trying to make sense of this. So I don't know. I feel like I'm always so not forgiving. I just and I I don't know. I guess I just feel bad, you know? I feel angry at myself. That's it. I don't feel good. Mm, you know, it's hard. And I will try to forgive myself because people make mistakes, and it's not about the mistake, it's about how they bounce back from this mistake. And yeah, I was hurt that I wasn't able to show my change anymore because, you know, that feeling sucks when you've made mistakes and you've hurt people you cared about, and because you've hurt them, you lost the opportunity to show them change, to show them improvements. And that's how I feel. I feel like I've lost those opportunities. I've lost opportunities to show change and improvements. Um, that's what my insecurities are saying, but I know deep down logically I will have more opportunities to show change and show improvement. And although I won't be able to show the same people, I'm hoping that I maybe someday will. Truth is, there's always gonna be new opportunities. And I'm still gonna make mistakes. I really am. I believe that. I think old tendencies will come back. And all I can do is be aware of that and try to reduce that as much as possible and try to show improvement and change. And, you know, that will come. That will come. More opportunities will come for me to do that. And, you know, I think deep down I know the reason why I'm alone, or not alone, but the reason why I don't have a significant other is me, and I sometimes don't forgive myself for that. I sometimes criticize the hell out of myself for that. That it's my fault that I've had, the window of opportunities is gone. But it's not. I will have way more opportunities, and to be frank, to be honest, like asking myself deeply that question, like, do I really need someone else right now? And yeah, as fun, as tempting as it is, yeah, it would be great, it would be fun, but I don't know how the universe works, but I know that it will come, and I should just focus on myself right now, and I should focus on who I am and focus on going on runs and meditating and making sure I'm good and happy and making sure I'm loving myself, I'm forgiving myself, I'm doing all these things, you know? So the fact of the matter is, I may never get an opportunity with the same people ever again. And that's okay. I'm going to tell myself that, but it's going to be a while till I actually really take that in. That it's okay that we won't get those opportunities again. It's sad, but You know, I think it's important to make that realization now than later. So yeah. Um. I've always criticized myself as well for still being hung up on shit like that. But I think it's okay. You know, if I really think about it, am I being hung up on the person? Sure, sometimes. Or am I hung up on the person that it could have been? The regrets, the kind of life I would have had I not made mistakes. And who knows what that's like, you know? In our in our head, in my head, in my mind, the scenarios I play in my head, the kind of situations I would think like what would have been, it's always the best case scenario. And who knows, man? Who knows what would have happened? Who knows what kind of life I would have led? Maybe, if I'm thinking of my life as different timelines, maybe I am in the best timeline. Maybe. Maybe all the different paths I wanted, all the different paths I've regretted, maybe those end up worse than who I am today. Maybe because of those mistakes, I'm never here today. And I if that makes sense, like if I've never made those mistakes, if I regret those mistakes so much and actually did everything well up to this point, then I would not be the same person. I would have not learned about the kind of person that I am, my tendencies, my insecurities, and how toxic I could be to someone else. I would have never learned that. I would have stayed who I was, and I would have never improved. And yes, as sad as it is, as sad as to say it is, I've missed those opportunities. Those were also opportunities where I grew as a person, and I'm so happy, and I'm getting so excited about this and passionate because wow, I've actually just made that realization. I made this realization before, and I'll make it again. But it's a constant reminder, right? I'll constantly need to remind myself that all those things, all the mistakes, and all those things I realized and criticized my past self for, that I still haven't fully forgave myself for, all those things have led to me today, and that's I think that should be enough. Like, that should be way more enough. Way more than the grammar is hard, English is hard. But yeah, I just all those things, all those mistakes, it led me here, bro. You know, I do love myself way more than before. And I do think I'm capable of a lot. I still do have insecurities, and a 25-minute talk isn't gonna fix that. It's the little things. It's the making my bed every morning. It's the going on runs. It's the consistently taking cold showers, drinking water. Like, it's the little things. It's the little things, and I'll continue to do the little things. You know, I know that this talk or this thing that I'm doing right now, this log, it won't fix anything overnight. It really won't. But what I'm trying to say is that this helps. It helps me put things into perspective, and it helps me really talk things through, you know? And yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't want to sound like a broken record, so that's it. That's it on that. But yeah, it's weird, that a game like that made me think. But I guess a lot of things. I guess the thoughts were already there. I guess it was already there. I guess something just needed to trigger it, and I think that's what this is about. Like, I'm trying to process the things that's here right now. That's always running, and processing it little bit by bit. Whether this be like only 0.5% of the brain, or 0.5% of the thoughts that plague me day in and out. I'm still 0.5 more mental. I'm still 0.5% more. Okay. Okay, let me rephrase this. Tomorrow, I'm still gonna be. My brain is still gonna have 0.5% more clarity than today. Okay, there you go. God, that is such a weird sentence to try and put together. Um. So yeah. What else? What else? What else? Um. Yeah. It's also not the only thing that made me stay up yesterday. I'm also playing a lot of CK3 still. I love that game so much. Oh my god, it is so addicting, man. But yeah, it's making me stay up and shit. Like, I conquered all of Scandinavia, bro. Let's go. That's a good thing. I conquered all of Scandinavia. It's staying relatively under my control. you know. But yeah, it's going well. It's going well. That game is really good. And it's making me want to play right now just talking about it. So, ugh. But I also haven't eaten today. I don't know if I want to do a 24-hour fast. I'm kind of hungry. If I'm gonna eat today, I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna eat non-processed stuff. Good job. Yeah. I think my perspective on that is like, yeah, fasting is good and all, but at the end of the day, if I'm gonna be fasting 24 hours and then putting some shitty food in my mouth right after, and then it's kind of just pointless, right? Not pointless, but like, it's good to be mindful of what I'm eating, not only when I'm eating. Updates, not really much. Not much, eh? Not much at all. Oh, I don't know if no, has this come up? Yes. No. Okay. So over the weekend, when me and the boys were playing basketball, like a bunch of us, at the end, Trey brought Iris, Marianne, and Kalia over, and it was like, whoa! I did not expect Marianne and Kalia to be there. So after ball, we went to the beach because Kalia was like, "Oh, let's go to the beach." I'm like, "Okay, sure." Even though it's like super cold and it's like whatever at nighttime. But yeah, it was fun. Like it was cool. It was nice to hang out with them again. It did make me think about the past, and I think that's also what contributed to thoughts the thoughts I was having. It's because yeah, I don't know. I'm just really grateful for them and what I've had and what I still have, and I'm grateful that I'm grateful that the situation was that we ended up hanging out again, and it was cool. It was fun. It was wonderful, and yeah, I'm really happy about that. One of the good days on the week. I'm gonna be honest. Good day. Um, what else? What else?
Voilà, tous les cadeaux, ben voilà, c'est Noël, c'est comme ça. Voilà. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Attends, voir.
No Genshin Impact. Okay, I'm being distracted. Okay. time to go. It's kind of short, but I think I talked about what I need to talk about. Yeah, I don't know. Not much exciting really happened. Still working out, still running. Missed a couple meditation sessions. Sleep schedule is bad. What else? Not reading much, to be honest. Been listening to audiobooks though. But yeah, that's it. I'm hungry. Kind of want to eat or stretch. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But see ya. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.